Russia. As it says there, third place in the Russian Championships as an amateur, and that is nothing to be sniffed at. He didn't really get much of a look in at international level. It's an extremely difficult team to get onto. Made his IBA.Pro debut here in April. A win over 6 rounds against Mohamed Abdullayev, and another chance to impress tonight.
Итак, дамы и господа, нас ожидает второй бой вечера. 6-раундовый поединок в тяжелом весе. В тело вступают по-настоящему большие парни, во время боя которых мы традиционно рекомендуем вам не моргать, а то можете пропустить все самое интересное. Итак, представляю участников этого боя. Первым боксера в черном углу. Ему 30 лет, рост 196 сантиметров, официальный вес 106,8 килограмма. Он бронзовый призер чемпионата мира среди военнослужащих с профессиональным рекордом, который насчитывает 3 боя, 2 победы при всего одном поражении, в том числе одна яркая победа нокаутом. Представляющий Бабол, Иран, Iman Ramezanpour! Его сопернику напротив, в золотом углу, 23 года. Рост 191 сантиметр, официальный вес 99 килограммов и 150 граммов. Он бронзовый призер чемпионата России. На турнирах IBA.Pro провел 1 бой. В нем одержал яркую победу представляющий Белорецк, Башкортостан, Россия, Бекхан Israilov. Рефери поединка Сергей Журкин.
Head up. No low blow, no holding. Listen and follow my command, okay? Good luck.
So that's the matchup. Israilov against Ramezanpour. Ramezanpour with a slight advantage in height and maybe some reach that will come with that. Physically, he does look the more imposing of the two. He's in the black, boxing out of that southpaw stance. Israilov in the white.
Yeah, looking forward to this contest. Israilov, body shots, a real repertoire of his, or highlight of his repertoire. He shows the signs and hallmarks of a smart fighter. Looks to work his way in and then get in on the inside and then catch you on your way out as well. So watch out for those shots. And he's happy to work inside, as you can see him do that now.
Ramezanpour looking for that left hand into the body. And it looks like these two are going to be happy to have it at relatively close quarters, which for Ramezanpour in a way doesn't make too much sense because, as I say, he does have some reach that comes with that extra height. He could keep this on the outside if he chose to, but if you look at that jab there, he just sticks it out. It doesn't really travel too much distance. Trying to move around the target a little bit there, Israilov. He's keeping Ramezanpour occupied with that jab, which to try and throw the right hand, but walked onto a short left there himself.
No push, Iman, no push. No holding, Iman, no holding, no holding. Iman, no push. No holding, Iman, no holding.
Referee just having a word with Ramezanpour about a little bit of holding when they get close. I don't think it's too much of a problem, to be honest. That's a nice left hand again there from Ramezanpour as Israilov is looking to try and move, and he has to be careful, Israilov. He can't get careless. Good short right hand from him. This is a good fight. Into the final minutes of round 1, scheduled for 6.
No holding, no holding. Bekkhan no holding, Bekkhan no holding.
A little bit more length on that backhand there from Ramezanpour. Just feinted and then threw it straight down the middle.
No holding, Iman, no holding.
Final few seconds of the opening round. Straight right there from Israilov, got through, but Ramezanpour immediately came back with a left of his own. It's a good fight, this. Stopping some good shots in that opening round. They're not having to look for each other, that's certainly true, just revolving around each other really in the centre of the ring, both within punching range pretty much at all times.
Always makes for an exciting fight when two fighters are willing to exchange in the centre of the ring. It's just whether either can withstand the punches of one another. So far so good for both of them, but I wonder how much that will represent the same tale throughout the fight.
I think it's going to be a bruising 6 rounds. That was a pretty bruising opening round.
No push, okay?
Второй раунд.
Box.
Bronze medalist at the World Military Games there on the roster, on the record rather, of Ramezanpour, which is no mean achievement. The standard at the World Military Games is very, very high. It's one of the big competitions outside of the main world and continental championships. There's that sneaky little short right hand again from Israilov. Ramezanpour just trying to work in behind the double jab there, didn't quite take his feet far enough in. He's the kind of fighter, when you look at him physically, particularly in this matchup, because he is the bigger of the two, you wonder why he doesn't try and impose himself a bit more. He threw that left hand there and wandered in behind it slightly. When he doubled up the jab, even though it didn't quite reach, you get the feeling that that is the right thing for him to do.
Maybe not in terms of output, or at least effective output right now, but there's a couple more clinches being engaged into by Ramezanpour this time round, in the second round, and that might be an avenue to just wear down the opponent here and see if that does have any effect, but that might be a route for him to then engage after that.
Bekkhan no holding. Break. Stop! Stop! Listen my command, break, step back, okay? Step back. Box.
Again, he just pecks a little bit with that jab, Ramezanpour, whereas Israilov lets his go a bit looser, a bit longer, but his feet came square there. Ramezanpour for a second was in business, just looked to really heave in a strong looking left hand. They both seem to have their vulnerabilities here, which is making for a good watch into the final minute of round 2.
Neither have landed anything big or clean as of yet in the fight. You just want to see something come through. Just a little bit of a feint here and there, a little bit of just a fake of a shot might be the opening for either of them, because they both seem to have the capabilities to land something big, but haven't quite got there yet.
Just shut down his own space there slightly as he moved in. Ramezanpour stepped in, but there wasn't quite room for that left hand. There's a little feint, but as he was looking to let his own hands go, he got caught by a stiff left hand there from Ramezanpour. Good work on the inside there though from Israilov, who of the two has been the busier. He's thrown more punches, but in that second round the the ones you remember, the couple you really remember, I think probably came from Ramezanpour. A bit of blood coming from the nose there of Israilov, a bit of thickening around the bridge of the nose as well. That could be a problem. That's a good right hand from Israilov. But neither one of these two really getting on top of the other one in this opening 2 rounds. There's that left from Ramezanpour.
Referees are giving them opportunities to work within the clinch as well too, which a couple of sneaky shots are coming in. One of them could really take onus there and dominating that clinch, but just a couple of missed opportunities from both of the pair really to, as you see, a couple of shots landing through in those clinches, but there's an opportunity there for them to both seize on that. The referees give them that half.
So they've had a little bit of clean-up work to do on that nose.
Seconds. So, sit back. Iman, no holding, okay? No holding, okay?
The referee's spoken to Ramezanpour about holding quite a few times now, so he does need to be a little bit careful. He's been on him about it right from the start. I don't think he's necessarily been too guilty of it. It's not something that's really stuck out for me. He tries to get a hold of him there. You can see that he is at it at times, and every now and again he's trapping the arm of Israilov on the blind side of the referee as well. Another quite sneaky trick, but there he just throws a couple and then moves in and looks to try and get on top of Israilov. It's actually not a bad tactic, but I think if he's going to do it, he needs to be a bit more aggressive with it, really get on top of him and push down on the top of those shoulders. That's good hand speed there from Israilov.
Left land as well from Ramezanpour.
Iman, no holding, Iman, no holding, no holding.
There's only so many times he can say this to referee, really, before he'll feel the need to do something. If you're warning somebody consistently and they're not responding, then it's at that point a referee will decide that they might need to give a final warning or take a point. Good right hand there from Israilov. I think he's just beginning to get on top here a little bit. Ramezanpour is looking slightly ragged. That's a good jab that just crashed into the side of Ramezanpour's face.
No holding.
Shapes with that left hand there, Ramezanpour, but didn't throw it off the back of the jab.
Too far out, wasn't he?
Iman, no holding.
There's room to work here. The referee's giving the instruction, but he's allowing them to continue. And it's very clear now. But there was a moment there where either of them could just have thrown, but they didn't take the opportunity to do it.
Again, he throws that single left hand and leans in. And you do wonder how much more he's got left in the tank here, Ramezanpour. We're just heading up towards the halfway stage, and it's Israilov who looks like he's got a lot more energy about him. And I think this is going to get very tough for Ramezanpour in the second half. He needs to land something solid. He needs to land something big and really take some gas out of the tank of Israilov, because the way this is going, it's the Russian fighter who, particularly in this round, has got on top of his opponent. So a gum shield has come out there, which just gives both of these two a little bit of respite.
Box. Stop.
And the swelling coming up under the left eye there of Ramezanpour as well. We've got a little look at that as they sit him down. You can see the end swell being applied. He's thrown those short, little accurate shots throughout the course of this fight. Israilov. And plenty of volume comes from him as well. It's not like Ramezanpour hasn't had his successes, because he has. But the greater volume, the greater tonnage has come from Israilov, and it does just look like he's beginning to feel it now.
As I highlighted as well, bouncing on the feet as well after usually the sign that someone's got a lot more left to give whilst the opponent fades. So keeping an eye on those energy levels and instructions in the corner as well too to make those pinches, a bit more engagement from Ramezanpour, and then working in those pinches. You can find a bit more success, but Israilov certainly looks in the tendency now.
Just reaching for that left hand a little bit, Ramezanpour, which could be dangerous for him. Both of them land at the same time there. Lead left hand from Israilov, a southpaw left from Ramezanpour, who again is just looking to trap that arm. You can see him there just trying to clamp that arm. The referee is alive to that, and he said no holding dozens and dozens of times now. Good right hand through the guard there from Israilov, and then looks for the uppercut, and the gaps are there, punishing right on the inside, and the accuracy is good, and Ramezanpour is not quite holding on for dear life there, but this has got tough for him a minute into round 4, and he's looking to try and find a way through here, but there's a long way to go in this fight, and a short right hand lands again now. He's letting his hands go a little bit more here, Ramezanpour, but it's not long before he looks to get in close and try and wrap Israilov up. He looks over his opponent's shoulder up at the big screen to see how long is left in the round. It's 90 seconds, and he just needs to keep the work rate high here, Israilov. He could get a volume stoppage here at some point if there's not enough coming back from Ramezanpour. The referee might decide that he doesn't need to see any more. Ramezanpour, for his part, needs to land something big, doesn't he, to try and level the playing field slightly here and just make Israilov just think harder about just walking in on him, which is basically what he's been doing from the beginning.
Hard to do that when the straight right hands land in between the shots as well too from Ramezanpour. That's taking him to think and correcting himself, and then he's unsure of when to throw himself. Purely Israilov in the ascendancy of really controlling the fight, and then he's happy to just take a moment to walk up and control the ring and then throw on his terms.
Good right hand again there from Israilov. Swung that up from quite low, from round about the waist, burst up into the eye line and stopped Ramezanpour in his track. Ramezanpour, give him credit, is still looking to come forward and get something done. He will know that he's got to put a dent in this man here. There's that right hand again. He's got nice simple mechanics at times, Israilov. He doesn't really take too much out of himself. He certainly doesn't really load up. He just lets those punches go. And there's been a good tempo to this, a good intensity about it right from the beginning. The punch stats would show us, if we had them, that plenty has been thrown and plenty has been landed, and the higher reading on that scale, both of those scales, would come from Israilov. He's a very busy fighter. There's that short left hand, which has done some good work for Ramezanpour, but not quite as much as that short right hand has for Israilov.
Bekkhan, не просовывай руку. Шаг назад. Шаг назад. Iman, no holding, okay? Box.
So into the fifth.
He's not stopped trying, has he, Ramezanpour, which is
made for an interesting contest. You just wonder what the instructions are from the corner and whether he can execute them now. 5th into the 6th round. Has he got the endeavour for it? Has he got the engine for it now?
No holding, Iman, no holding.
The way he started this round, it looks like he has. I think they will have told him in the corner, you need to make an impact here, because he's probably lost those first 4 rounds. And as we've been saying, it's not because he hasn't had any successes. He's just been outlanded. He may well have won a minute 10, a minute 20 of each of those rounds, but obviously the way the sport is scored, that doesn't leave you with anything. So he's got to really try and make some inroads here, and that's absolutely what he's attempting to do. This is probably his best round of the fight so far as we head into almost into the second half of it. He needs to finish this round off.
No holding, Iman. No holding. Stop! 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 Listen to my command. Step back. No holding, okay? Box.
Dominated that moment there, didn't he? Israilov. And so when you get into that sort of rhythm and then you engage in the clinch as well too, and then you see Israilov punching those clinches, it's like just the pressure surmounts on you, changes your breathing, changes your rhythm, puts you off your game a little bit. And that's what he's facing at the moment.
So the gub shield has come out again, and that again just gives both a little bit of time to recoup. It's been a pretty bruising fight this so far. Scheduled for 6, we've got 1 more after this. The pace has been hot right from the start. As we've been saying, lots and lots of leather thrown, plenty of it's landed. They've both got quite an attractive style, particularly Israilov. And if you want to get on good cards, if you want to get on big cards, then this is the kind of fighter that you need to be, because he's going to be in good fights. When you look at the way that he does it, he gets after him there, Ramezanpour, and almost catches him with that left hand. That's happened 2 or 3 times.
Full counter in that exchange there as well, and then right hook 2 at the top. You don't see much bodywork coming from Ramezanpour either now. He's electing to go for there because he knows he's got to land some big exchange to fight. He thinks that throwing to the head is that best route for it.
And that's the kind of range where he's done some damage, but the problem he's had is that
it's the accuracy of the shots.
It's the accuracy, exactly that. And the range that he really prefers is exactly the range that Israilov prefers as well. So when they get into that kind of scenario, it's a case almost of who's got the quicker hands and who can find the smarter angles, and that's generally been Israilov. It's made for a good watch for us. It's made for a pretty tough night for Ramezanpour so far. He's not completely out of this, but there's no way that heading into this final round he doesn't need a knockout, I wouldn't say.
He needs a knockout, he needs to up the tempo, throw everything and the kitchen sink at Israilov to try and change the tide of the fight, try to change the story of the fight, because it's going to need something of that measure to get his hand raised.
And we can see the blood coming out of the nose of Israilov in that previous round, and that was uncorked back in the second. So as we know, Ramezanpour with that left has done some decent work. Israilov though still looks nice and fresh. As I mentioned earlier, you look at the mechanics there, the back foot doesn't really come off the floor, he just lets those hands go. He doesn't turn at the waist massively a lot of the time, so you could look at him and think that there's not a massive amount of power there, but there is some good accuracy. The gum shield's come out again. I think the referee's taking the view here that this is coming out probably because his mouth's hanging open a bit, because he's fatigued. He's not spitting it out. You can see he's not doing that. So the referee, I was just going to say, has taken a lenient view of this. He had done up until that point, and that was the third time, so he decided to take a point, which is fair enough because you are supposed to keep it in. You're supposed to bite down and keep it in, but I think it does just reflect how much he's given here, Ramezanpour.
Yeah, his range was there for Ramezanpour to throw, but Israilov just shut it down. He moved in the clinch and they started throwing down to the body and up to the head. And when Ramezanpour threw, that's when he got that clean shot, to little short shot that took to the head. It must just be so demoralising for Ramezanpour right now.
Stop! Stop! Stand back. Stand back. No holding, Iman. Stop. No holding, okay? Box.
Walked onto a left hand there, Israilov, as he came forward, and that's happened a number of times, but it hasn't landed on him in such a way that it's really done him some damage. And the gum shield comes out again there, and he kicks it back towards the corner. He's a bit frustrated with himself, Ramezanpour, I think, in the way that things have gone in this fight.
Looked like he took a big gulp of air in as well too when he was bent over.
And the referee takes another point, and that's not going to make any difference in the grand scheme of things. And he really is holding on there. The referee could have taken a point for that at some point during the fight. This has got kind of progressively worse as we've gone along. But he sets his feet there, the big Iranian, and just lets those hands go.
He sets his feet, he throws a shot, and then he gets punished in return by Israilov. And it must just be so hard to try and arrest or change that tide coming from Israilov. He's tried, he's had a couple of different ideas. He found a few shots as an uppercut earlier as well in exchange that came through, but it just hasn't been enough and hasn't been hard enough either.
What do you make of Israilov then? Because he's good to watch, isn't he? He's got a good style. The punch output is high. I wonder about weight. I wonder, is he really big enough when you look at the, he's boxing a heavyweight here. No, he's about tempo and work rate, isn't he, rather than big heavy shots. It's the frequency with which they land, though. That's what works for him.
No, he's good. He's really impressive. Like you say, with frequency of shots, the type of shots that he throws as well. So you just want to see that, being critical about him, that gear change from him. He knows he's in front here. He knows he's got his opponent beat, or is at least his head on the scorecards. Can he push a little bit further to force a knockdown or force a stoppage from the opponent? You just don't see that. You see the first phase, the second phase, and maybe a little bit extra phase that you want to see coming out from him, because you feel like you've got it from him, but he's just not showing it here. So slightly bit of a missed opportunity from Israelov's perspective, but he's got the fight won as well. There's just those type of fighters sometimes that they know they've got the opponent beaten, so why show that a little bit more? Why show that extra? I think he was comfortable in that fight once he found his range and rhythm, and never really needed to get out of it because Ramezanpour didn't bring that out of him.
No, there wasn't any need to take any undue risks there. I did wonder, I think I said it in the fourth round, that if it kept going the way it was, Ramezanpour was starting to look quite knackered, wasn't he, really, to be honest. And as you say, if he just really clicked through the gears there, he could have got that kind of volume stoppage whereby Ramezanpour's not looking like he's going to get knocked out. He might not even go down, but the referee will just look at him and just feel like he's about to unravel. And that we've seen enough. I thought that might have been there for him, Israilov, but as you said, there was no need to go crazy and take any risks, because he won every round and there were a couple of points deducted, and Ramezanpour dug in. He dug in and he gave good value, good entertainment there.
Yeah, and from the perspective as well too of taking a few shots, he did Israilov and he weathered them, didn't seem to be rocked from them. Nothing landed big or clean, but that's always the sign of a good chin and a higher IQ fighter. But for the shots that did get through, never really rocked, never really hurt, was able to then throw off the back of that and catch Ramezanpour too. So a lot to like from Israilov.
Just waiting for the announcement from our MC. I don't think this would have been a difficult one to score. We had those couple of point deductions as well. Okay, here we go.
Итак, дамы и господа, в этом ярком и зрелищном бою, где никто не хотел уступать, победу по очкам единогласным решением судей одержал представляющий Белорецк, Башкортостан, Bekkhan Israilov!
So Israilov with the victory. I dare say we'll see him again before too long. He's got that kind of fan-friendly style which will always serve you well throughout your whole career, but particularly at the start.
Дамы и господа, мы идем далее. И турнир IBA.Pro 9 в Башкортостане продолжит 10-раундовый поединок за титул чемпиона Центральной Азии WBA в полусреднем весе. И первым добро пожаловать в черный угол ринга боксер из Казахстана Темиржан Баймолда.
So next up we've got 8 rounds for the WBA Central Asia title at welterweight, and this is Tibi Baymolda boxing out of Kazakhstan. He's from Astana, 10 fights, 10